Krieger. My left, your right, the man, the myth, the legend, my right-hand man. Font, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, man, living it up. The Yankees are Italian again. I love it.
The Yankees are super Italian. That is for sure. We got a pretty jam-packed episode for you, especially for the first week of August. A lot happened in the world of sports, NBA free agency, NFL training camp starting to open again. Obviously, what we've been kind of focusing most of the show around during baseball season is baseball. We actually finished recording. We recorded last week right after Anthony Gallo trade went down. So you were fresh off that news. I don't think anyone really saw what was coming next for either of us. I did not expect the Mets to go the path they went down. But I guess let's just hop right into it. So Yanks weren't done after Gallo.
Nope.
They got their other Italian, the lefty bat. I thought he was going to the AL East. I did not think he was going to end up in the Bronx. Anthony Rizzo, ends up in the Bronx, first base for the Bronx Bombers. They're super Italian again, like we said. Fun. How you feeling?
Feeling great, man. I didn't think we were getting Rizzo. I didn't think we were getting Rizzo at all. He wasn't even on my radar. All I heard was that it was him. It was him and the Red Sox were connected throughout the entire trade deadline talks. Anytime you heard Rizzo, you heard the Red Sox. And Brian Cashman just like out of nowhere just came up in there and swept them right out from Boston's hands.
So fucking annoying, dude. So annoying. I'm pissed.
I was kind of amazed at how Cashman also got Gallo and Rizzo, but was able to get the Rangers and the Cubs to pay both of their salaries. Like I just couldn't. I'm like, how did this? It's like the more I talk shit about Cashman, he just ends up like pulling off something I totally didn't expect. And now he's back in my good graces. Well, for now, but
how long?
He's back. How long? Well, obviously, the result at the end of the season, I'll let you know. But as of right now, he's back in my good graces. And the Yankees are hella Italian again. I absolutely love it. Season started this week. We got 50 games to get it done.
Still 6.5 games out.
Of course, I'm looking at wild card. I don't think we're winning the division, but get in that wild card spot, and you never know what could happen.
Being a wild card team, though, just like having all your fate for the rest of the season decided on one game is fucking miserable, dude. Like the Mets did it in 16, and it sucks. Yeah. It's awesome for baseball. If your team's not in it, it's awesome theater. Yeah. It's great to watch, but I don't know.
The Yankees have been in that wild card game, I think, twice now. The one game elimination. We've luckily won both of them that we were in, but they were very nerve-wracking for me going into the game. I'll tell you that.
I remember that Twins game pretty clearly, actually, a few years back, where they went down early.
Oh, we were down 3-0 in the first inning.
Yeah.
And my hero Didi brought us back. I still wish we had him. I love Didi, but that's a story.
That's a whole other day.
That's a whole other thing I could get into, but I'm not gonna waste our time right here. But
yeah, I mean, Rizzo's a huge bat, especially in the short force. They needed a lefty bat bad, especially since all their power guys have been kind of struggling. What's the lineup they've been trying out in the outfield? Like, what's Stanton been getting any outfield reps or no?
Stanton has. He did in Miami. He did yesterday or the day before, I believe.
Has he done it 2 games in a row?
Yes, he has. He's been in the outfield 2 games in a row at one point. The current lineup that they're trotting out now without Gio, like this is all without Gio because Gio's still hurt. DJ, what was it? DJ Gallo. No, not Gallo. DJ Rizzo, Judge, Gallo, Stanton, Gary, Odor, and Greg Allen.
Not bad.
Not bad. And then we still get Brett Gardner in there from time to time. Like tonight we got Brett Gardner starting in center field and it bothers the hell out of me.
He's isn't he still hitting under 200 for the year?
He's batting 199.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Like, how is that guy in MLB?
He can't play anymore. And
the Mets have a 100 hitter in their lineup right now too. It's the right fielder, Michael Conforto. Dude can't hit a fucking water. He fell out of a boat, dude. and the Mets don't replace him. Like, they didn't do anything about it. Like, all right, I guess we can just kind of do this. And I did a little bit of it on That's Some Cheese. In case you missed it this week, I was filling in for producer Alex. It was just me and Trey. So, we had, of course, the two of us were both baseball fucking addicts. So the back half of that show ended up just being all baseball. But I mean, the Mets needed two things. They need starting pitching because this rotation that's been so great for the first half of the year, there's no way, first of all, there's no way we could expect them to keep this same energy up for the entire season. But they find out about 2 hours before the deadline that DeGrom is out for the season. Okay, not out for the season, out for an extended period of time. They don't get pitching because Taiwan, for whatever reason. And then they go get Javi Baez, who is electric baseball player. He's making some crazy plays. But he just doesn't really hit well. He only hits lefties, which is kind of the Mets' biggest weakness. But like there could have been like we needed Chris Bryant. Bottom line, we needed a guy that can play multiple positions. You can play either corner outfield position, third base. Like we have McNeil and obviously Lindor's hurt and that sucks. So if you want to keep VR in the lineup, you can keep him at short or whatever. There's ways to move it around, but like just getting Javi to play the middle infield, it just is not what I think they should have done. Like I think the Mets are losers, trade deadline losers, which sucks because they're a first place team. Like why didn't you go get better? And they're about to lose. They're in danger of getting swept by Miami. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Oh,
I know. Fine. If you would have told me this stat last week, I would have had no clue. You know the Yankees have a better record than the Mets.
Yeah, actually, I found that out today.
Like that's fucking disgusting.
Found that out today. I that was so far out of my mind because I was just like not even worried about the Mets record. I just knew it was better for like a long time. I forgot about it. I heard it today on the radio. I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, it's disgusting. All right. I mean, speaking of radio, you listen to WFAN?
Yeah.
Would you listen to Moose and Maggie today?
I did not. I didn't get the chance to catch Moose and Maggie. I caught like the tail end of Carter Roberts.
Did you hear him? Yeah. Did you hear him talking to Louis Rojas?
No. What they said.
He was just like, "Oh, Conforto, it's all mental. McCann swings 3-0 in a game. The Mets are all over the place. They're getting worse, which is really bad this late in the season. I was so fired up last week about Mets being in first place come August and all this, and they're still in first place, but they're losing ground. I mean, right now, I think they're. I have it right here. So, yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're a game and a half up on Philly.
That's it. Right a game and a half up.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're 4 games over 500 since. I think July 1st, they're playing sub 500 baseball. Like that's not good enough, and they just didn't get better. They got one piece who's electric and he will sell tickets and he's a great piece, but he's not a great piece by himself. They need something else. And Rich Hill just isn't going to be the answer for this.
No. The problem was they needed more.
They needed Rich Hill and someone else. They really did.
Yeah. They needed more than Baez and Rich Hill. And like I know that they tried. I will say this. I'll at least give them that they tried because I was hearing that they wanted to get Baez and Kimbrel in a package. But if they wanted Kimbrel, the Cubs were going to want Dom Smith and Ronnie Mauricio. And I'm sorry, I'm not even a Mets fan, but there's no way I'm doing that.
Yeah, they wanted McNeil too, or there were so many different combinations of what, and that's the other thing that's really fucking pissing me off is that I don't know what's true and what's not because you like I are New York's obviously like the sports media capital of the world, so we get I don't know how many beat reporters the Royals have, but the Mets have about 10 like good beat reporters that I follow all on Twitter, and every single one of them was giving me a different answer as to what was going on with the returns. Apparently, the Cubs were only trying to rake the Mets over the coals. I don't know if this is like a Steve Cohen problem because everyone's mad he's got so much money. They're trying to make him fucking overpay for everything. That could be the issue, and if that is what the Mets issue is gonna be a big. It's gonna be a big deal.
They were almost doing to the Mets what they do to the Yankees like every trade deadline. Like they just like ridiculously ask for like
they tried to gouge the Mets for Bryant. I don't know why because it seems like the Padres didn't give him a great return, but
the Giants, the Giants didn't give him that much. Hell, we didn't give the Cubs that much for Rizzo either. Now, granted, that's like a true rental, but still, we didn't even give up that much for Gallo. Like
him wearing 48 is so weird.
Oh, Rizzo? Yeah. Oh, I'm not. I tell you what, you want to talk about this? I'm not happy that Gallo's wearing 13.
I don't like.
Not
I don't have a
happy.
problem with it. I really don't.
I I I do because like A Rod was my favorite player growing up, and he like honestly always will be. In my I go to bat for A Rod. A Rod, in my
He
opinion, was
sued the
like
Yankees.
listen. I know that him and the Yankees don't really like each other because, but I don't think they should have gave him 30. I thought that number should have been retired. I'm sorry, but like
One
A
World
Rod was a
Series.
yeah, one World Series. I mean, you don't win the World Series without A-Rod. I understand he had his playoff woes, but that 2009 run, you don't win that without A-Rod. And he was a historical player, in my opinion, one of the best players that baseball's ever seen. However, nobody's going to agree with me because of all the steroid stuff, blah, 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 blah. But that's what I think. And I just don't like Gallo wearing number 13. But it is what it is. And listen, if Gallo goes out there and just hits like I don't know some crazy like 15 home runs in a month, we make the playoffs, and then he's like a big reason why we win some playoff series. Listen, you won't hear me complaining about his freaking number.
When's the next
I'll
time
get
the
over
Yanks
it.
are on Sunday Night Baseball? I'd love to hear A-Rod's fucking
Oh
what he has to
my
say about
God,
that.
that would be wonderful. I actually don't know. I do know that Yankees play the Mets in City Field, I think after Labor Day.
Yeah, it's September 11th, 9th, 10th, 11th,
Yeah.
or yeah, 10th, 11th, 12th. This is a side note. I was looking at tickets for that 9/11 game because
How much are the 9/11 game tickets? I bet they're
all right, guess.
I would say probably like I'll go like in the outfield is probably around like 150, like 100 to 150.
I looked. The cheapest I saw was 225, but then
Oh
I
my
look,
God.
and then someone else I was looking for me, and they said everything they saw was pretty much 500.
That is
It's gonna
oh
be a really really
yeah.
heavy
And
stadium.
look, I'm down to go to one of those games,
Not that one.
not the September, not that one, but I'm 100% down to go to City Field. It's been a long time since I've actually been to City Field.
A much
I
nicer
know it.
stadium.
I know it's really nice, and I heard it's a lot easier to like get to and park and all
See,
that good stuff.
wrong. Well, yeah, if you drive like you did last time, like then it's easier to get to. But City
Well,
Field's
granted, I'm
so
telling you right.
Yankee Stadium's so fucking easy to get to, dude. Especially for you and I. Get on a
Oh,
train and we're right
no,
there.
believe me, I know. When I go, like that was just a random scenario where my friend was like so hell bent on having his girlfriend drive, and I was like, all right, go ahead, and that's what happened. We didn't get into the stadium until the second inning. Now, granted, I don't know if
In a
that would have
7 inning game.
that was ridiculous, but I think that was a problem. Not even because we drove there. I just think that the first game ended a little late. They had trouble getting everyone out. Then they try to get us in, and they just started the game, and there was like no fans in there for like the first two innings.
They couldn't
So
get anyone in. It was gross.
yeah, that was just a disaster. And I think actually the Mets stopped doing like the dual admission for double headers now because of that fiasco. I'm pretty sure Steve Cohen said, you know what, you get the ticket for the first game, you can just stay there for the second game if you want.
Yeah, I mean the only time that can't really happen is if you're gonna have like it can't happen for Mets Yankees because every single one of those games are sold
That's the
individually, and
that's the problem.
and I get the gripe because that game, if they wanted to just give everyone who had tickets to both dual admission, there wouldn't have even been close to enough room, especially for
No,
that weekend, the holiday weekend. And the Mets have done a split doubleheader since, but it all depends. I mean, I was without going into too much of like the details of the schedule. A lot of it has to do with like if it was already a day game because then you have like camps and shit and group sales
yeah,
that you
yeah.
can't really screw them over. So I mean, whatever. We could talk about fucking baseball stadiums forever. But that was a joke at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, that was
I've never had a joke issue like that anywhere else. I've been to playoff baseball games and nothing like that.
no. I've been to ALCS games at Yankee Stadium that were a lot easier to get in and out of than that was.
Overall, Mets super disappointing trade deadline. Really mad about it, honestly. And then do you want to talk about Kumar Rocker or like?
I mean, we can, but it might be
I,
touchy
I
subject for you.
I might start crying, like genuine. I was fucking stoked that we got that dude,
I thought he was gonna
and
be. I was like, that's one hell of a fucking draft. I was like, that's a hell of a draft pick. That kid's electric. He's
it really seemed
one
like
of
things
those.
were changing for the Mets.
He reminds yeah, he reminds me a lot of like Sevy when Sevy was like mad young, and he was coming up. That's who Rocker reminds me of. And you know, I was hoping that he would be able to get to the Mets because I mean, listen, a rotation of DeGrom, Rocker, and
Whatever else they
Stroman
have
as
at
like
that
their
time,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, could be Stroman, could be whoever, but one, two, three of those guys. I mean, come on.
Who knows? Anyway, Mets fuck it up. Don't even offer him a contract. That's the other thing is like now everyone has a different story and different take on what's going on with
So
that.
what did you hear about the
Okay,
elbow? Because I
so
heard that it was like three outside doctors said his elbow's fine, but the Mets doctor said that it was not.
see what I heard. This is the issue that first of all is that everyone has a different story of events. What I heard was that he skipped out on doing training for all 32 MLB teams, which is I heard this is where things get a little fishy. Is I heard like mixed reactions that's normal for some people that they don't want every club having medical information on them for
Yeah.
the rest of their career, or but I don't really know the deal. And but then I heard that he was having issues at Vanderbilt all year. He was getting extra treatment and rehab and all these other things, but I don't know. And just the way that Steve Cohen kind of handled it after. We've talked about this in the show about him. I hate when he tweets.
Yeah, he needs to stay. He needs to really
Dude,
stay
I
off the Twitter,
really,
bro.
really, really thought that I was gonna love an owner on Twitter and chopping it up, but like I guess I just want my really rich like sports owners to just stay in the shadows and just like spend your money, do what you got to do, like win championships, but that's it. And now he's like, trust me, I would gamble on the investment. Like, dude,
Bro.
fucking gamble. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
really.
know. It's a similar issue with the without the take away the injury part. It's a similar to what was happening with Zach Wilson and the Jets last week when we were talking about it. Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
the money's decided? Like the CBA has all the money and everything laid out already. There is no like option or anything else. Just pay the dude, see what happens. Like you could think, how many minor leaguers don't make them pros? Like 90% of them. Shit happens. You can think of fucking Flyer, Steve Cohen. He's worth like a 30-year statue. Like literally a
I mean,
30.
how many times do baseball teams draft players in the first round and end up not even having them on their team? Like, you know what I mean? Like they like the Yankees. The Yankees drafted Garrett Cole at one point, but Garrett Cole wanted to go back to college, so we didn't. I mean, he didn't end up on our team. I mean, like there's so many times you waste draft picks on guys, but that's how baseball works. That's why there is like a ridiculous amount of draft picks because there's so much random crap that could just go into it that you could end up not getting the guy at all, but you at least try. Like you try, especially it was like $6 million. I mean, I'm sorry, but Steve Cohen could wipe his ass with $6 million.
Literally wipe your ass with that, Steve. Just give him the
I
fucking
mean, come
money.
on, bro.
Like, let him get healthy. See what he has to offer. And then he gets kind of screwed over because now he don't get to play this year. If he wanted, he can go back to Vandy, but apparently he's not going to do that. He can't go in the minors, so he's got to wait a full year. The Mets get the 11th overall pick next year, one pick down from this where they got Rocker, and that's that. Whatever. It's what it is. Fucking Mets, dude. Like you just never win. All right, moving on. You want to go Jet Shines now?
We will go to the Giants
All right,
because
let's do Giants because I love Joe Judge, and I'm a Jets
Joe
fan, and
Judge is
I
Judge
love
is
Joe
great.
Judge.
I love it.
All right, so why don't you give
I
everyone the story
absolutely love it.
before your reaction?
I'll tell him. Yeah,
Yeah, go
yeah.
for it.
So training camp, we get our little scuffles going on, but this one apparently turned out crazy. It was something happened where Logan Ryan hit one of the offensive players, like some no name, a little hard at the end of a run. Evan Ingram retaliated, and then literally the entire team got involved, and it was a straight dog pile brawl with Daniel freaking Jones being at the bottom of the pile. Your starting quarterback is
Love it or
under.
hate it. Love it or hate
I
it.
hated that part. Hated that I
Okay.
heard that my quarterback is under like 2,000 pounds of men. I was like really mad about that. But I did love the fact I like, you know what? I love the scrappiness in training camp. Like, other than Daniel Jones being at the bottom of the pile, I thought it was great. Also, love Joe Judge's reaction. Joe Judge was livid. Like, all the reports were telling me Joe Judge was it was just dead silent. All you could hear is Joe Judge blowing his whistle and shouting curse words. He made these guys run lap after lap after lap. And then they said that Joe Judge wasn't satisfied with the effort they were doing in runs. So he lines them all up on the foul line and starts having them do push-ups until he felt that they learned their lesson. Then did you hear the story about what happened after that? Was there was oh god, I forget the Todd Davis linebacker retired on the spot. Joe Judge worked him so hard he retired. Like,
He's the third person. Okay, so there are 3 people that have retired during the start of training camp for the Giants. Did you know that?
I didn't know it was 3 of them.
Who's that lineman they just got from the Cowboys?
Oh, yeah, the center.
He retired. He retired today.
He retired today. Couldn't handle it. Get out of the kitchen. That doesn't fit our culture. Get out.
I mean, okay, a few things. It makes sense that he made 3 grown men quit because when do you think the last time these football players have actually run like full 100-yard sprints?
Oh, high school, easy, and like fresh. I'm talking like freshman year of high school.
Yeah, no, they probably run in senior year of high school too. Not in college though.
No, college definitely not. But
okay, unless you're going for unless you're like Nick Saban or something like that.
Yeah, unless you're just like a winning nut. But yeah, normally you don't. They like the college coaches aren't making you run like that. But definitely, I would say, yeah. I'll even give you all throughout high school, depending on who you are.
But I love it. I love every second of it. And
great.
The fact that Daniel Jones in the bottom of the pile, to me, I love that shit. Just because I want to know my quarterback's down with the cause. Like, obviously, if he were to get hurt, different story. But like, I think, to be honest, like, that's kind of lit. Like, I want my quarterback fucking in the pile, in the fight, getting chippy. Like, hey, listen, fuck that.
Danny Dimes is with the shits. Okay,
he's not obviously scared. My high school team was not the Giants, but like my starting quarterback was our best free safety. Like he probably hit one of the hardest on the team. Like, some quarterbacks are just built different like that. Like, I want my quarterback. If I've like, there's no way Zach Wilson is getting in any piles. No fucking shot, dude. No shot. Like,
if I was, he's running away. That's the one guy. If I'm a Jets fan, I'd be like, I swear to God, if Zach Wilson's anywhere near those piles, I'm gonna kill somebody.
I wonder why Joe Judge hasn't been turned on by his players yet. Because I know last year we was all about culture setting and all that shit, but where are we at? Where are we at now? Listen, a lot. It's still going on in year 2.
Yeah, I think that the players are buying in. The players are legit buying into what this man is selling. Like, they may hate it now, but I think a lot of them are really sitting there and going this guy's got a point. He's working our asses off, and we probably hate him right now, but he's got a point. And the team plays for the man, because the turnaround that they had last year, they were 1-7. I was just going berserk because I was just like, oh, great. Another crap year, whatever. It's been forever since we've even been decent. And I'm just going through it. And then next thing I know, the team just does a complete 180, wins 5 games in a row. And I'm all the way back in, because the NFC East was so bad that we actually had a shot to win it. Came down to the last game of the year, mind you. That team played for Joe Judge, and I think that entire they are buying what that man is selling, and I absolutely love it. No matter if Daniel Jones is our quarterback, if Dave Gettleman is a GM that can lead us to a Super Bowl, no doubt in my mind that Joe Judge is the coach and he's the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I would take him as my coach. I think, honestly, a lot of it depends on this year, because it's all fun and games in training camp, but if you're gonna lose, 12, 13 games out of a 17 game season, I don't give a shit. No one's actually playing for you.
Of course. I mean, hey, we'll see. But I have high hopes. I have high hopes of the Giants this year. And also, I tell you what, I like Rob Saleh. I think he's going to be somewhat of a Joe Judge type, probably not as intense as Joe Judge, but I think he's going to win that locker room over.
I fucking hope so. They need a strong coach. They haven't had one since Rexy Ryan, and I don't even know if he was a strong coach or just a great dude to be around. It's either one. Back-to-back AFC Championship games though, so I guess better coach than most.
Never forget that.
I will never. If I won a Super Bowl, I will forget that though. I hope.
Yeah.
I want to forget those. I want to win. Like, I don't want to be talking about 2015 anymore for the Mets. I want to talk about 2021, the actual World Series we win, not the World Series we're leading for 91% of and end up losing in 5 games.
Yeah. Don't really want to get into that.
Fucking trash cans. All right. As we said, this is going to be a gambling show. So
here we go.
We've been like, somehow we've made it 6 episodes without actually having any gambling.
Listen, we were just waiting for football to get up and going. Now that we're in training camp, it's
like I'm a football rookie. I'm a football gambler, to be honest. That's kind of my thing. All right. So we're gonna do a few things. We're gonna do our rookie of the years, offensive rookie of the years. I don't really care about defensive rookie of the year, do you?
Yeah. No. We're gonna go offensive rookie of the year,
and then we're gonna go team totals for our Jets Giants, and maybe a little MVP depending on how we're feeling. I'm gonna open up the floor to you, Font. Give me your offensive rookie of the year.
So my offensive rookie of the year, this is gonna be something that it's a gamble. It's a gamble because he's not even named the starter yet, but a plus 750. I think Trey Lance with the Niners has I think he has the most potential to be offensive rookie of the year. All the talk out of San Francisco right now is that Trey Lance is blowing away everybody in camp with his ability, the way he's picking up the playbook. And I'm telling you right now, Jimmy G's leash gets shorter and shorter the more training camp goes on because this kid is looking like really good. And he's got the weapons. I mean, you put Trey Lance in there, the dude's got weapons. He's got a great run game. He's got a great offensive minded coach, Kyle Shanahan. You got one of the top 2 or 3 tight ends in all of football for the last 3 years in George Kittle. I love Brandon Ayuk. I love Deebo Samuel. I think Trey Lance 100% could be offensive rookie of the year. Even if he starts week 4.
I was just saying, how many games? What he's got to be in by week 6, 7 to get.
I would say week 5 the latest, but I'm expecting him to take over the starting role in week 4.
We had last year, Herbert, right?
Yes, he did. Herbert won last year,
and he came
in
in week 3, week 2,
week 2 or week 3.
After Tyrod got stabbed by the trainer.
That was the funniest. That was one of the
fucked up story, dude.
Just a little side note on that. That was one of the funniest things ever. I wrote a post about it at the time, but that was so funny. I really thought that was hilarious. How does a team doctor puncture your own lung? You walk over to coach. The doc punctured my lung. I can't play. What?
Yeah, I just right between the ribs too. Just hit all along. Such a shitty spot. NFL trainers sometimes suck too. He's not even the only guy this year. Who was it? The Raiders lineman had to get stretchered out of the game because they put an air pocket in his IV.
Oh my god!
What was that? Trent Brown. Yeah, Trent Brown.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my god! Yeah,
crazy. The
dude could have died.
I know. He really fucked up year. The COVID was the second worst thing that happened to him last season, to be honest.
Hell yeah.
All right. I have 2 here. Both, and I'm just gonna put a little disclaimer by this is where I normally would like to place these bets week 1 or after week 1. Obviously their odds change a little bit and they go down, and you're not gonna get the juice or whatever you want to call it. But if I have to do it right now, I see Kyle Pitts at plus 975. I think he is going to be the guy. what I think that Trevor Lawrence is just people. He's not going to get it because people are already expecting such great things from him, and people are kind of already skewed.
Yeah,
And
that's the feeling I'm getting.
even though he is a rookie, like uh he's in the best situation possible for a rookie with a brand new head coach and a decent coach in Urban Myers. We don't know how he's going to translate the NFL, but I do think that he knows how to get talent out of young people, and having him with Trevor Lawrence and Etienne and all these guys that that they want. He built the roster the way he wants it for the most part.
Yeah,
So I see that happening. So that's why I'm going to go with Kyle Pitts plus 975. Everyone was just talking about how big of a freak this dude was, and now he's pretty much going to be the next best tight end. And if I don't really see too many options other than him in Atlanta, and I feel like
he's really the only, him and Calvin Ridley are the only guys.
right. So if he catches 10, 12 touchdowns this year, it's got to be him. And then my little sleeper would be like probably Jamar Chase. I see between plus 1,400 to plus 1,350 right now. That's just because and here's how another kind of weird situation I have, but like in my mind, there is no way you take Jamar Chase unless Joe Burrow is telling you that you please like take Jamar Chase, because I would want to invest in offensive line and protect him.
Yeah.
And, they didn't do that. They didn't, Tucker was on the board still when they picked. So there's plenty of good offensive line for them to choose at that spot. They didn't take him, and they took Jamar Chase. So I just have a feeling that Burrow's only going to want to throw to him. And it's the same thing. That guy catches anywhere between 8 to 10 touchdowns as a rookie, has 1,000 yards. It might be him too. So those are my two. Wow. To be honest, I was not expecting you to give me a Trey Lance one though.
Yeah, that kind of took you out of left field.
I like that though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little shot in the dark with some of my picks. I don't really take nothing too trendy.
Too chalky. But... All right. So I'm looking at the Jets and Giants team totals. Giants are 7, Jets are 6. I'm just gonna get this right off the bat and say under on the Jets. It's like this is the first.
You think under six wins?
This is the first time I saw this total, and yes, I do think under 6 wins. Like, what makes you think this team's going to be better? Zach Wilson, cool. First-year head coach, rookie quarterback. Like, the team is still shit from last year. Like, nothing changed. You got one better offensive lineman. Like, what's the difference? Like, I'm smashing the under. Like, smashing the under.
There is an extra game though, so there's an extra game for.
I see 11 losses.
Out of nowhere, but yeah, you know what? Yeah, I can see that. I mean, there's going to be growing pains here, 100%. Like it's not going to be
like that number is staggeringly high to me. To be honest, they won 2 games last year,
especially their division. I mean, they got to play 4 games against the Bills and the Dolphins, and the Patriots are. The Patriots still got the Jets. The Patriots still got the Jets number. So,
yeah, I mean, like, speak of the Bills, it would be interesting to see if Josh Allen doesn't resign there. I saw that they're stopped as soon as Week 1 kicks off. They're done with their negotiations.
Yeah, they're not going to go into negotiations.
Not that really means anything, but
I don't. Yeah, they just don't want it to affect him like during the season. I don't know, man.
I would love to actually root for that guy, not for the Bills and not in my division. I'd love to root for him.
I love Josh.
Exactly.
I'm a Josh Allen guy.
Me too.
I love.
I don't want to root against him, but he's going to play for the Bills. Like, they're going to be good for the next decade if he's there.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. So I'll go to the Giants. Giants over under is 7. Listen, I'm going over here, and I'm not just being a homer here. I think 8 and 9 could be like, I think that's like a worst case scenario. I'm sorry, but the roster that we have, there's just no way. And the division that we're in, there's no way that we go under 7 wins. I think 8 and 9 is like the Giants' lowest. I think realistically they're going to go 9 and 8, and I think their ceiling is going to be 10 and 7. That would be like their highest point would be 10-7, but there's no way they go under 7 wins here. I mean, you go look at the division. The Cowboys are still a mess. The Washington football team doesn't have a quarterback, and the Eagles are just a train wreck in full rebuild mode. So, I mean, we still got the same defense from last year, added some good pieces. The offense got hell of a lot better with Kenny Galladay and
He's
Kadarius
hurt.
Toney. He tweaked his hamstring. It's nothing to. He'll be back. He'll be back like
Su-
start of next week.
Super famous last words. Yeah, I tweaked his hamstring. That's not last all year. You're going to see Kenny Galladay run up the sideline in week 3 and pull off, grab his hammy and go to the sideline. They're going to be like, well, everyone wanted him back in training camp. Like, just rushing people back. That's what the Mets did with DeGrom, too.
Yeah, well, see, that's different. They didn't need to do that. Galladay, I feel like he needs to get his reps with Daniel Jones. So I don't know. We'll see. But no doubt, Giants over 7 wins. I'm taking the over here without a doubt.
I'm going under. I really am.
You'll go under on that. Okay.
I just don't see Daniel Jones being a 7-win quarterback.
I don't think he's great. I don't think he's gonna he needs everything to be he needs all the guys around him to be good. Which
he needs them to be perfect, and he has to play like a relative. He can't turn the ball over 2 times and expect to win every game.
No.
And
no,
he probably, how many turnovers he averaged last year?
Probably about that. It was literally like 1.5, almost 2 a game.
And to be honest, the interceptions, like obviously they're annoying and they're turnovers, but the worst part is the fumbles.
Picks are better than fumbles.
Fumbles 100%. Are the worst. Like you can't
fumbles are the worst.
And most of the time, like he's just like dropping the ball. Like I think he had like a few forced fumbles, but like he gets ball happy. And like that was stuff that I thought was going to change in year 2. That just didn't.
No, I'm pretty sure it almost, if not, got worse. So I don't know. I know they're gonna do something with him. Like they definitely brought him through some crazy type of training. He's got to be better.
And I just don't know if Jason Garrett is the offensive coordinator that's going to bring the best out of him.
No. So you could ask Jackson Law right now. The meme of me doing this is because Jason Garrett is my OC.
I don't get it. Like what did he do to warrant keeping his job?
I literally have no idea why they kept him. Not even kept him. Why did we hire him in the first place?
And the worst part about it is that if for some reason Daniel Jones doesn't do well this year, and it's still because he's with Jason Garrett, and he walks elsewhere, and he gets a decent coach, he might be okay. And then because as of right now, this seems to be this is the year for Jones, correct? This is everything for all the Giants.
Yeah,
fans,
this is going to be whether he's our franchise guy or he's see you later, and Dave Gettleman will also. There's a lot riding on this season for Dave Gettleman, Daniel Jones, Jason Garrett. Like I think
Joe Judge is probably the only one that's safe.
Joe Judge and Patrick Graham are the only 2 guys on this team who have safe jobs right now.
Who's Graham, the coordinator?
Graham's the defense coordinator. Those are the only 2 guys that I think have their safe jobs right now. Almost everybody else is. They're riding on this season being they got to have a winning season. They got to be better than what they were last year. I'm not saying they got to make. I don't want to put that type of pressure on them. Say they got to make the playoffs, but they kind of
in that division they should.
Well, yes, in that division, if the Cowboys are not playing up to where they should be again, and the Cowboys are sitting at 500, hovering around 500. There's no doubt that somebody's getting fired. The Giants will win that division because there's no reason why they should not win that division.
Unless I could see Garrett being a midseason firing if things start slow for them, and then get him a real coordinator to work his way up from there.
The only problem is it's halfway through the year you're going to change the entire offensive scheme. It's just going to be it's almost worse to fire your OC than to fire your head coach in the middle of the year. At least your head coach, you fire him. I mean, he just wasn't getting the team to play. You still got all the same guys and the same schemes, but I don't know. We'll see with that, but I still think Giants get more than 7 wins.
All right. Our last little gambling segment before we move on. MVP. Now, I haven't looked at these odds before right now. Font sent them to me over before the show, so I'll kind of go over them. I think these are FanDuel odds, right? FanDuel.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
All
it's
right.
FanDuel odds.
So I'll just go through them quick. Mahomes plus 500, Rodgers plus 1,000, Brady 1,200, Allen plus 1,300, Prescott plus 1,500, Lamar 1,700, Stafford 1,700, Russell Wilson 2,000, Justin Herbert 2,000, Kyler Murray 2,000, Baker 2,600, Tannehill 3,200, Matt Ryan 4,000, Carson Wentz 4,000. All right, before we even give out our picks, the thing that stood out to me right away is that Lamar, yeah. How is Russell Wilson and Justin Herbert the same odds? Like, what has
Crazy.
Justin Herbert done to prove that he could even be considered a potential MVP candidate?
It's
Like, never
it's the
mind be
hype.
like one
It's
of the
just
best
straight
quarter.
hype.
Like that's
It's just
crazy to me. You might as well
straight
fucking
hype around
piss on
him.
your money if you're gonna bet on Justin Herbert at plus 2,000.
Yeah, see, it's straight hype. But the only thing is why I think he's at the same odds as Russell Wilson, because Russell Wilson has never gotten an MVP vote
But he's
in his career.
yeah, that's
Granted,
he's so worthy
he
of them.
is, of course he is. The
So like,
problem is Russell Wilson does this every year. Did this last year too. Had me fooled because I was a big believer in the Seahawks. Betting wise, I was like, Russell Wilson was on my fantasy team. I was like, this guy is gonna. This is the year he wins MVP.
I love betting the Seahawks. It's one of my favorite teams to bet on.
Completely, but it completely fell apart after they were 5-0, and then that train just like imploded down the stretch. And then go to the playoffs and you get your asses handed to you by the Rams at home. I mean,
Disgusting. That was
that
really
just
bad.
can't. Yeah, like that's just something that just can't happen. Like that team's offense was the Rams' offense was horrible, and
But the Seahawks defense was so bad. The Legion of Boom is just like you wouldn't even have guessed that.
Legion of Boom are gone.
What you
They're
wouldn't
all gone.
you would have never guessed that team once had like was considered one of the best defensive franchises.
I remember in 2013 they were like, this is going to be the best. This is going to be like the next steel curtain for the next like 5 years. That literally lasted for like two more seasons, if that.
Jamal Adams is a bum.
Jamal Adams is a glorified inside linebacker that plays safety. I'm so annoyed with him.
Yeah,
I cannot stand him. You know, the Jets I know at first Jets fans were angry, but but like you come to your senses and you're like, you know what, Jamal Adams is just an idiot.
I was
like,
tilted. I was tilted.
I understand because you know what, he was like the Pro Bowl superstar guy that you guys drafted,
and he was like, yeah, exactly. He was like the future of what it seemed like we're building our defense around him, and then he sucked.
But hey, look what he did on a team with playoff aspirations. The defense was terrible.
No sacks. I think he got COVID, and then while he was on his COVID break, he posted a picture of a joint in his living room. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I do. Wearing his helmet like a fucking
absolute
like a fucking clown. I loved every second of it. All right, give me your MVP pick.
I'm gonna go with two MVP picks right here. Because one I love, but one I really love. So the one that I love is Josh Allen at 1,300. I think this is his breakout year. He got MVP votes last year. Last year was a breakout year, but I think this is the year that Josh Allen gets another year smarter. Him and Stephon Diggs have another year of chemistry, and that Bills team had just no signs of slowing down. That Bills team is looking to dominate, be the 1 or 2 seed in the AFC, and ultimately get past the Chiefs and get to the Super Bowl, which I think Josh Allen very well could have the capability to do this year. I think he's going to have a great season. Now, who I really love, plus 1,700, Lamar Jackson, I think is going to have the biggest bounce back year.
Oh no! Don't let Trey hear this.
Yeah,
oh,
I don't.
No.
Yeah. Trey is a Ravens fan, but absolutely hates Lamar Jackson. I mean, like, listen, the dude won MVP.
He can't throw.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, Lamar Jackson, I think, is gonna come back with a vengeance, and this kid is gonna absolutely go off. He's gonna fix some of those throwing problems. You know, obviously the inaccuracy is not going to be completely washed away, but I really feel like Lamar Jackson is going to have one hell of a bounce back year. And I love plus 1,700 for him to win MVP, especially with the offense that they got right now with the Ravens, and they still have a great defense. Like, just the fact that team has a potential to go anywhere from from like 13-4 to I would even say as high as like 14-3. So we shall see.
All right. I'm only gonna stick with one. I gave two offensive
Yeah,
rookie
he
of the
gave two
years.
for.
I'm gonna
Yep.
go with Kyler plus 2,300. I just think that kind of in the same vein with how Lamar Jackson got MVP is that he's such a dynamic athlete, and the
Yeah.
way that he throws the ball, he has parts of a lot of great quarterbacks. Like he's got the ability to change arm angles like Mahomes does, which is, everyone blows Mahomes for it, but like it's a baseball player thing. It's just something that baseball players learn to do when they're wrong. Kyler Murray, obviously a baseball player, so him getting the ball out accurately with different arm angles is crazy, especially using his mobility. And he's good for a few hundred. He'll probably rush for about 500 yards in the year. Give him the extra weapons. If this team does, if they go like 13-14, anything, if they have a good season and he leads them to the playoffs, like I can't see why he wouldn't be considered. I know he's a little short. I know he's got a
No,
lot
of
of like the
course.
same things, but
I can see it.
this is the year for them. Like they got to figure it out.
100%. The only issue I have with the Cardinals is that DeAndre Hopkins is like by himself in that receiving core. Like their receivers are
Julio
just
Jones,
Julio Jones on Titans.
Titans. No, who did the Cardinals just get?
Unless they might have got somebody that I'm
No,
completely
fuck.
forgetting.
I'm an idiot. The
I
Cardinals. I
will
thought the Cardinals did get someone though.
I will look this up real quick before I go into it because
Shit.
if
I really thought that for some reason I was
because
thinking.
I don't know why nobody's name is like coming out to me. Let me see. Let me see. 2021. Oh, I mean, they got the shell, AJ Green. I mean, they got the shell of it.
That is who I was thinking of. Yeah.
They got the shell of AJ Green. I don't know. I mean, like he could potentially take some pressure off of DeAndre, but not as much as you would like. I'm not in love with the Cardinals receiving core. Like, obviously, love DeAndre Hopkins. Think DeAndre Hopkins is top 2, 3 wide receiver in the NFL. The only problem with him is he's the only guy out there. And he gets the focus of the defense pretty much every time they're on the field. So like it could be an issue. However, if Kyler Murray gets another year better, you make everyone else around you better. So, there should be a little boost there. I mean, listen, I'll tell you right now, Kyler Murray, rushes for say like 7 touchdowns, 600 yards, throws for 4,000 and has like 30 touchdowns through the air. And the Cardinals are like the 1 or 2 seed in the NFC. But why not win MVP? So
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
like it.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool to give it out a plus 2,300 winner in the first season of the show.
Hell yeah, plus 2,300. I mean, listen, I'm all about the big bets, man. I'm all about the big bets. I have a little history of hitting Hail Marys. So
really, we'll have to tell that story down the road.
Oh yeah, we will 100%.
Listen, hopefully we make a few more of those stories. To be honest, I could love a few.
We will.
Can't wait till we're gonna come up with some Empire's Finest parlays, some shit like that. It'll be a good gambling season for us. Pretty excited.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. All right, pretty much wrapping up the show. Honestly, a pretty good show so far. What else? What else is on our list? Oh,
we got an NBA free agency.
All right, NBA free agency. To me, pretty quick. I'll let you go on about the Lakers, but NBA free agency is just like a popularity contest attached to contract amounts. And it is, I forget who said it in the Slack, and I won't take credit for the idea, but I think it was Zarav, but the fucking NBA free agency is so much better than NBA regular season. So much better.
It almost is. It really is. NBA regular season is like, I'm sorry, but it's terrible. The only games I look forward to are Christmas Day, and that's it. I only look forward to Christmas Day basketball, and then other than that, I could really care less about the regular season. They just get me to the playoffs.
Any comment on your Lakers moves?
Oh, love it. The Lakers surprised me. Rob Pelinka has been pulling, he's been retooling this lineup for the last like 3 years now to give LeBron the most help possible. I love the guys that he got. Love my man Trevor Ariza coming back. Trevor Ariza was one of my favorites in 2009. Happy he's back. Thought we should have never got rid of Dwight Howard after what he did when we won the finals in 2020. Thought we should have never got rid of him. He was a stud on that team. He knew his role. He played defense really well, rebounded well. So happy he's back. And of course, we got Carmelo Anthony. It's like the Hollywood story. It's the Hollywood story that everyone's gonna want to go and love to see. It's that feel good story. Melo finally wins a ring. I think this is obviously Melo's best chance to do it, and I think the Lakers will get it done. Love that free agency, but I will go to what happened today. Kemba Walker is coming back to the Garden. Now,
New Yorkers coming home.
It ain't Kemba 4 years ago. I'll give you that, but a couple good things come out of this. One, Trey doesn't have to look at Kemba Walker wear Yankee hats at the Celtics press conferences anymore. And Kemba gets to come back to the Garden where he had that absolutely magical Big East tournament, which really just shot his draft value up from basically like, is he even going to get drafted?
It just literally it immortalized him. It really did. He could have 100%. He could have sucked, but like UConn, first of all, UConn loves their college basketball, and like that just insane stretch that he first did, and then happened to be Shabazz Napier did it a few years ago. But that's the thing. Like you can look at them, and they're pretty much the same careers, and then get the NBA. Shabazz, I don't even think he's in the league anymore, and Kemba's still balling out. But like those two are like pretty interchangeable to UConn fans, at least. Cardiac 100%. Kemba, what a shot. I mean, great call. It was just an overall great moment, but
absolutely. The Bronx native New York kid is back. And you know what? I'm not a Knicks fan, but listen, the NBA is doing good when the Knicks are interesting and when they're good. So all is right in the world. I thought it was a pretty decent NBA free agency. I mean, no giant superstars, but you got some cool pieces moving forward. You got some really cool storylines going forward into the season. So at least it's something to look forward to.
And everyone will forget about who's on what team until like March or April when the playoffs start.
100%.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You're gonna have to ask me. I'm gonna ask probably 12 times what team fucking John Wall is on, or like what team. I don't even know what team he's on right now.
I think he's still on the Rockets.
There you go. See, didn't even know. I just know he's not on the Wizards anymore.
Nope, that I know. Yep.
The John Wall. Dude, that dude had a song named after him.
You remember that? Oh, my God.
Of course, dude. Yo, he was dude, John Wall was like going to be the future of basketball at one point.
He was.
Like,
you remember when like every kid had his shoe?
No, I don't even remember that. But I just remember they literally danced to John Wall. Yeah, well, you and I went to a little different high schools.
True. Even before high school, like elementary school, kids had John Wall shoes, but really? John Wall was just big old hype that amounted to nothing.
Like and like the John Wall was literally just like flexing and rotating your arm. That was the move. It was like, dude, the John Wall. That was it. Like that was the move.
That's all it was.
All right, one more thing before we wrap up. It's probably a little bigger thing that I wanted to initially talk about, but Max Everett, great writer on the site. Check him out. He did a big collab with, I think the site was called DDT. I'm not exactly sure, but pretty much it was like a wrestling blog, and it was like professional wrestling, like WWE and all that stuff, versus amateur wrestling and the differences between the two of them. I know you and I actually differ on this a big time, but we're going to talk about that a lot more next week. I just wanted to quickly touch upon the Olympic wrestling. And I know we did a little bit of this last week with NBC, but they are really fucking this Olympic coverage up like bad. Last night.
It's on the Olympic channel, but not a lot of people have.
Right. I don't have the Olympic channel.
I do actually. I
Like,
caught some of it at night, but the problem is it was on at like 12 o'clock at night. And I'm like, I'm about to go to sleep.
right. So part of that is that it's just because it's in Tokyo and the times are different. So that I
Yeah.
get. But when there is live action going on, like last night, they were showing USA Baseball was playing for a chance to medal in the Olympics. They were playing live last night between like 10 and 11 p.m. and they were just running like swimming like highlights. Like or they were just rerunning the race that they ran at like 5:30 a.m. Like what is the point of that? You can put it somewhere else, fine. But like everything should be able to be watched live and concurrently and like we should not be prioritizing swimming over a pre-recorded swimming event over like actual like live Olympic important things. So that's just kind of my take. It's been watching the wrestling's been a real pain in the ass. You know, for true like wrestling junkies, there are 3 different mat feeds. You can watch them all, but like I just want to watch the American wrestlers that are popular in every American household, like every wrestling household family, like Gable Stevenson, David Taylor's. I want to watch those guys wrestle. And it's really NBC's making it a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, no, I don't like the Olympic coverage this year has been really subpar, and I don't remember it ever being like this.
And I
Well,
don't
first,
and I don't want to hear it's like a COVID excuse. Like I
no,
get
it's
that
not a COVID
I
excuse at
get that
all.
there's COVID in Tokyo and it's a big issue in the world still, and that's a conversation for a political show, and that's definitely not what this is. But like you knew
No.
for a fucking year that that the NBC
Yep.
that the Olympics were going to be there. Figure it out. You got to quarantine people for 3 months. Like half these people, their jobs are just the Olympics. Like go to like quarantine, do what you got to do. Get the production people there. Get the right people there to make shit work. I don't know. It's really pissed me off. Like it's once every 4 years. We have to wait an extra year for it. Like, I just want to watch good wrestlers and at
Yeah.
normal times. It's
Hey,
not that fucking difficult.
believe me, I'm with you. Also, one other thing I just had to say, the fact that like the sports that were going to be garnering the highest views, they put behind a paywall in Peacock. I thought was the most ridiculous. They put men's basketball behind Peacock. Like, I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. Are you kidding? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, they're doing it for everything. They're putting everything behind Peacock. I know
I
WWE
haven't
community is
even I
pissed about
haven't
it,
seen
right?
I haven't seen I haven't seen USA Baseball play like live once. I literally could not find their games,
Listen,
or they're
it's
always
not like
on weird times.
it's not like I want to watch Todd Frazier, but like I want to watch like a live like shit that matters.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Olympics, big big fail in the production and broadcasting this year. I gotta say.
It's a joke. It really is. It pissed me off. But I guess I'm just when are the Olympics in LA? 2028, 2032?
20, 2020, 2020, 2028.
Yeah, so maybe I'll watch good wrestling then. If I want to watch, I probably have to fucking go out there then.
One thing I would really like to do is the Olympics are in the United States. I'm sorry, but it's just like there's no way that I can't not go to the Olympics at least once. You know what I mean? That's when is the next time the Olympics are ever going to be in your home country
Probably not in our lifetime.
in your lifetime? Like it just ain't going to happen. It's a
Yeah.
very small chance. So definitely got to try to go out to that.
All right.
And
You'll catch us in LA 2028. We'll be LA's finest and we'll steal the name of that fucking show that Trey apparently thinks we stole our name from. Anyway, um Font, good episode, brother.
great show.
Yo, I don't
Great
know
show.
if it's I don't know what your new Zoom, the Yankees, the Giants fight, but like you're glowing today. You got different energy. We had a good show.
It's been great. It's
The
been great.
Italian boys, getting
the
fired up, huh?
the Yankees being Italian again is really like I brought the chain back out. I haven't worn this in forever. Like I'm wearing my chain again. Uh hey, listen, all is right in the world. The Yankees are Italian. That's all I gotta say.
You're wearing your chain again. All right, that's gonna do it for this. Jesus Christ, you're wearing your fucking chain again. That's when you know things are going well. All right, that's gonna do it for this episode of Empire's Finest. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Empire's Finest. The Empire has the one. on Instagram, Empire's Finest. The Finest has the one. Show clips going up on there. We're still working on growing our socials, but be there. It'll be fun. Thanks for listening.